Okay, I'm going to show you the three major chord shapes for bluegrass banjo in the key of G. So we have the F shape, we have the D shape, and we have the bar. The bar is pretty easy to understand. It's just four strings held down with whichever finger you like to use. But most folks use their index. But sometimes it has a bit of a muffled sound. So, and the reason that is because you're holding down the string with the pad of your finger instead of the tips of your finger. The tips of your finger are the firmest part of your finger, and you'll get the most articulate note there. So what I'll do sometimes is if I need only 2 or 3 strings out of the chord, I may not hold down the whole bar. I might hold down like the first string with my ring finger and maybe my middle finger on the second string to get this effect. So now I can sort of play with that chord shape instead of having just this static bar down. So all of a sudden, if I want to, I can use that bar all over the neck, just like. And it sounds more open because I'm using the tips of my fingers instead of the pad. So in this case, I was using my first 2 strings, but I could use my, third and it's just the pads are just more spongy and they tend to absorb that note a bit. The fingertips are more articulate, so if you can get yourself up onto your fingertips, you'll get more out of those notes, especially with the bar shape. Now, we have the F shape and the D shape left to talk about. Now, some folks will say the F shape is easy or difficult, and then they'll say the D shape is easy or difficult. One is easy and one is difficult. Everyone tells me one or the other. But if we look more closely at it, we'll find that there's just enough information here to make it easy for ourselves if we really pay attention. So the 4th and 1st are fretted at the same fret, right? Yeah, they are. So all the difference is between these 2 strings. You got 4 strings and you're switching 2 fingers between 2 strings. That's the difference between the F shape and the D shape. Because if I just hold it in one place, that's it. So perhaps the combination of going from this to another part of the neck may be strange, but if you look at the change between the 2 shapes, it's the difference between the index on the 2nd string or the index on the 3rd string and the middle on the 3rd or on the 2nd. And then practice keeping these 2 fingers down and holding the notes. So I'm keeping them clean, and I'm changing the notes behind. Now, a good way to practice this skill and have some fun with it is a classic ending that you could use for ground speed, like Earl Scruggs did with Jake Tulloch. So what I've done there, G, G, I'll do that cleanly, G, G, C, A, and you notice I'm switching as I go. As I come up the neck, my index and middle are switching places, but my ring and my pinky are staying relaxed but in place. And that lick, I'm just going 4 pinch, 2 and 1, 4 pinch, 4 pinch, 4 pinch, 4 pinch, then shaving a haircut. So that's a good way to practice those 3 major chord shapes, and hopefully that'll make it easier for your fingers to find their way around the neck.